Hello students, today we are going to read and explain civics lesson 3. Why do we need a parliament? As you are familiar with this building, this is Parliament House which is situated in New Delhi. So the important topics which we are going to read are Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and functions of Parliament. People and their representative. People would elect their representatives to the parliament. Then one group from these representatives forms the government. What do you mean by representatives? Those are the people whom we select for the parliament, and later on they are known as MPs or member of the parliaments. EVMs, electronic voting machines, were used throughout the country for the first time in 2004. Before it, we used to give vote with the help of a long sheet. It was almost like a A4 sheets where lot of names of the candidates were written along with their political signs, and we have to put a stamp before their name. But in electronic voting machines, what happens? We have to press these blue buttons, and here you will see the pictures of the candidates, and it is very easy for voting as well as counting the votes. Universal adult franchise. Constitution laid down the principle of universal adult franchise. What is it? It is all adult citizens of the country, they have the right to vote, whether they are rich, poor, from any regional background, from any religion, from any gender. And it is 18 years for all the citizens of India. Once you have completed 18 years, you get the right to vote. Approval, what it means, the take-off point for a democracy is the idea of consent. Consent means if we as a people agree that we want a democracy in our country, that is the approval for the government. And when we approve some person as our leader, then only he or she can form the government. And this way we directly or indirectly give our participation in the government. Although we don't go to the parliament and run the government, but we are participating in the formation of the government because we give them vote. If we'll not vote, then no government can be formed. So our participation is indication that we are approving, we are giving permission to the government to run our country. Constituencies, what are these? The Lok Sabha is usually elected once every 5 years, means after every 5 years we will have to elect again. The country is divided into numerous constituencies. As you can see, there are 545 MPs in the Lok Sabha. So the country has been divided into 545 areas for contesting the election. One person, any Indian person, he can elect from any part of the country. There's no restriction on where to contest from, right? So if somebody want to fight the election, he can choose any area. So these area in political science are known as constituencies, and each of these constituency can elect only one person. It doesn't mean that, if you can see this top portion, this is I think Ladakh, this area is looking very big in size. So it doesn't mean that we can choose 2 or 3 leaders from this constituency. How big is area doesn't matter. You will have to choose only one representative from that area. The candidates who contest election usually belong to different political parties. In India, we have various political parties like BJP, Congress, AAP, SP, BSP, TMK. So one leader, whosoever stands up for the election, he is always from some party. Then we give vote to the candidate as well as to the party. What is Parliament? The Parliament of India is also known as Sansad, is the supreme law making institution. Right? We have already know about Constitution, that is one of the law book which is written by our earlier freedom fighters. So all those laws need to be changed from time to time because the world is also changing, so laws are also getting old. So all those laws needs to be revived, to be changed, to be edited, to be modified. So this work is being done by the parliament, and if nobody will sit in the parliament, then who is going to change the laws? So we select our MPs and they sit, they debate, they discuss inside the parliament, and then they make laws. Sometimes they delete some old law and then sometimes they create new law. So this is the primary job of the parliament, to make laws for the country, for the betterment of the country. Parliament has two houses known as Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Let us talk about Rajya Sabha. It is also known as Upper House and Council of States. It has a total strength of 245 members and it is chaired by the Vice President of India. Means he took over the meeting of Rajya Sabha, Vice President of India. Lok Sabha. It is also known as lower house or house of the people, with a total membership of 545, and it is presided over by the speaker, and the speaker is chosen from all these MPs among themselves. People and their representatives. The parliament, which is made up of all representatives together. Let me repeat, representatives means all the leaders or all the MPs whom we elect by our votes. They all representatives, they control and guide the government. In this sense, people through their chosen representatives form the government and also control it. Are you getting my point? Suppose my area is Kanpur. So I have chosen one MP from our area. I means we all the citizen of the Kanpur, we have chosen one MP from our area, and now he or she goes to parliament. Now whatever problem we are facing in our area in Kanpur, we will deliver them to our MP. And MP will further keep those problems in the parliament, and the whosoever is the government in the parliament or in the country, they will try to resolve those problems. They will try to take out the solution of the problems, and this way through our representatives, means through our MP of Kanpur, we will get the welfare in our areas, we will get the development projects in our area. The role of the parliament. Election to the parliament are held in a similar manner as they are for the state legislature. In class 7th, you have read about state legislature, how the state government works. And even in the central government, the procedure is same. How to elect the parliament members. Now, as you can see, this is the chart of 2019 Lok Sabha election, where BJP has secured maximum seats, and that is 303, and Congress has got only 52 seats, and these are some examples of other parties also. So this is what the party which gets the maximum seats. As you can see, these orange dots are of BJP. So the party which will get the maximum seats will make the government. Once elected, these candidates become member of parliament or MP. So whosoever gets elected for the parliament means 545 members. They are known as MPs or member of the parliament. These MPs, they together makes the parliament. They are 545 in number. Parliament of India consists of the President, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So these three together they make Parliament. Lok Sabha, for a political party to form the government. Now how government is formed? They must have a majority of elected MPs. Now what is majority? Majority means more than 50% of the seats. Suppose there are 545 seats in the parliament. So 50% of this, that is 272, more than 272 seats needs to be achieved by a winning party. Then only they will be able to form the government. And what do you mean by opposition? As you saw in this chart, Bharatiya Janata Party, it required 272 seats, but here it has already achieved 303 seats. So it has got the majority. Majority means maximum number of seats. And what about the other parties? What will happen to these parties? So all the other parties, they will sit in opposition. Understood? Winning party will make the government and the non-winning parties will make the opposition. So right now the opposition is of Congress, and just like the winning party chooses its leader, opposition party also chooses its leader, who is known as the leader of the opposition in the parliament. And right now Mrs. Sonia Gandhi is the leader of the parliament, leader of the opposition, and she belongs to the Congress party. Now let us talk about executive. What is this team? One of the most important function of the Lok Sabha is to select the executive. Executive means the person who actually works, who makes the law, who holds some departments and who makes some decisions for their department. Now the executive is a group of persons who work together to implement the laws made by the parliament. As you can see, these are MPs, right? These are already MPs, but apart from MPs, they are ministers also. Now this is the difference between MPs and ministers. All the MPs cannot be the ministers. There are only the team of 50 to 60, some selected person of the winning party, they will become the minister. Suppose this time we have the government of BJP, so they already have selected their leader, and the selected leader will become prime minister. Then prime minister will select some of his very experienced and talented MPs for the convenience of his work, to distribute his work, and these team of some selected MPs is known as executive, and they are also known as minister. So MP is a different word and minister is a different word. All the people who get selected for parliament, they are known as MPs, but those people, some selected people who work under the executive, they are known as ministers. As you can see, Rajnath Singh, he is MP, but he is also a minister. What minister? He is defense minister, because he is holding the responsibility of defense. Next is Nitin Gadkari. He is a MP from Maharashtra, some area, I don't know what constituency he belongs to, but he is also a minister. Which minister? He is road and transport minister. So all the work related to making roads, highway, comes under his department. Next is Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. He is MP from Uttarakhand, but he is also human resource development minister. So all the work related to education will come under his department. Next is Amit Shah. He is MP from Gujarat, but same time he is also home minister. So all the work to keep peace and order inside the country is his duty. Prime Minister. The Prime Minister of India is the leader of the ruling party in the Lok Sabha. Suppose which party got the maximum seats? BJP. Now all the MPs of the BJP, they will select their one leader, and that leader will become the Prime Minister, because all the members, they cannot become Prime Minister. There are 303 members who had won the election from the BJP. We cannot make them all the Prime Minister, so they will select their only one leader. Ministers, as I told you, from the MPs who belong to his party, Prime Minister will choose some selected person to become the minister. As you can see this picture, she is Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, and at present she is the Finance Minister of India. These ministers then take charge of different areas of government like Health Ministry, Education Ministry, Finance Ministry. As you can see, this is the office of Home Ministry, and right now Amit Shah is heading this ministry. Coalition government. Now what do you mean by coalition government? When many political parties join together to form the government is known as coalition government. Suppose take the condition, if BJP doesn't get 272 seats, it has got only 200 seats, and some other party like Shiv Sena, it has got 50 seats, some other party like Congress, it has got 50 seats. So these three parties will come together, and then they will make 300 seats, and then they will form the government. So this type of government is known as coalition government, means combination of many parties. Right now we have coalition government in Maharashtra, where Shiv Sena, Congress and NCP, they have joined together to form the government. South Block. This photo is of South Block, which houses the Prime Minister's office. Now where do all these ministers sit? They require some office, right? So this is the office of the minister. This is the building where lots of offices are situated. Here in South Block you can find the Prime Minister's office, the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of External Affairs. It is also situated nearby the Parliament in New Delhi. This is next building, that is known as North Block, and it has the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Home Affairs. So these are the offices of the ministers. Next is Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha functions primarily as the representative of the states of India in the Parliament. The Rajya Sabha can also initiate legislation, and a bill is required to pass through the Rajya Sabha in order to become a law. Now what happens, if sometime Parliament tries to make the law, then it has to pass from the majority of the members of the Lok Sabha as well as majority of the members of Rajya Sabha also. So Rajya Sabha members help to pass or not passing the some bill. It therefore has an important role of reviewing and altering. Altering means if Rajya Sabha feels that some bill or some law is not good, so they can ask the government to cut some sentences, to cut some points and edit it again. The member of the Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected member of the legislative assemblies. And where will you find legislative assemblies? In states. So all the MLAs of the states, they vote and then they choose members of the Rajya Sabha. And the strength of the Rajya Sabha is 245. And whereas 233 members are elected and 12 members are nominated by the president, means they need not to elect the election. They are only selected on the recommendation of the president, but they should be very prominent and famous person of their areas like social service, literature, movies, art, sports. These are the area from where these 12 members are chosen. The parliament while in session begins with a question hour. Now what is question hour? By asking questions, the government is altered to its shortcoming and also comes to know the opinion of the people through their representatives in the parliament. For example, the MPs. So the important work of the MPs is to ask question from the government in the parliament. If they will not ask the question, the government will do whatever they will like to do. Opposition party, opposition party in democracy plays very important role. There are a lot of countries which are not having opposition party. Just take the example of China. China is a communist country. It has only one party. They don't have any opposition party. So whatever government decides, all the country has to follow the same rule, whether the rule is good or bad, because nobody is there to interrupt them, nobody is there to stop them. They don't have the opposition party. But in our country, if government makes some rule which is not good for the people, then opposition party starts doing lots of protest rallies throughout the country, and this way government becomes alert and they don't dare to rule as per their wish. Getting my point? So opposition party is very important in democracy. If they will not ask question, they will not take out rallies and protest, government will do whatever it will like to do. They highlight drawbacks in various policies and programs of the government. You must have seen that Congress always speak against the BJP. So this is their job, because they are sitting in the opposition. So they keep control on the government. Reservation, some seats means 24.03% of the 545 seats in parliament are reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. 84 seats for scheduled caste and 47 seats for scheduled tribe, so that they can represent Dalit. Dalit means lower caste people, and Adivasi interest in parliament. Now why this reservation has been given to these people? Because sometimes these people are so backward and from so poor background that they cannot contest the election with other high caste people. So government has made the provision that the reservation will be given to all the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, so that they can also come at par of the upper caste people, so that they can also get equal status like the upper caste people. Reservation for women. 60 years ago, only 4% of MPs were women. And even today, after 70 years of the constitution formation, there is only 11% of women MPs in the parliament, which is very less. There are 50% women in our country. So it means out of 545, at least 200 women MPs should be there in the parliament. But no, we have only 11% women MP in the parliament. So still we cannot say that we have equality for the both genders, because political parties, they don't give their tickets to the women most of the time. So this is the percentage of the population who have voted in Lok Sabha election in different years. In the first time when the Lok Sabha election held, that was 1951, 61% of the people they had voted. And even in the 16th Lok Sabha, which was held in 2014, 66% people only they had voted. That too when 84% of the India's population is literate, means educated. Even after getting education, people don't come out and don't go to the polling booth for vote. Instead, they enjoy holiday on the day of election. So this is very bad about these people, that even after getting holiday, they don't exercise, they don't use their right to vote. Because if will not vote, then no government will be formed and good government will not be formed. So these are some important questions related to this lesson. Please go through these questions and try to answer these questions. And if you're getting any problem to find out the answer, you can go back to the video and scroll the videos, right? These are very important long answers, long type questions, and MCQs also. So you can pause the video and read the questions. So that's it for today. Please do like our channel and please subscribe it also, so that we can bring good videos for you. That is Wow Education. Thank you so much.